Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. The subject of the discourse today is based on Bhava Sutta. In the last discourse, I had mentioned about it. The word bhava is very significant indeed, particularly in the Indian context. Now this word occurs practically in all the languages of India. Bhava simply means becoming. Bhavati iti bhava. Becoming in what sense? Last time, if you remember, we spoke of there is a becoming that is going on constantly within us, both at the physical level and at the mental level. Now, for instance, we are breathing in and immediately we breathe out. Now, this process of respiration. Now, breathing in itself is a process. It has a beginning, it has a continuity, and it has an end. As soon as the breath reaches the apex, that is the end point, immediately breathing out occurs as a process. You breathe out, beginning of it, continuity, and end of it. As soon as the breathing out reaches the bottom, that the out level, breathing out, immediately you start breathing in once again. Now, this action is involuntary. It is happening all the time. From the time we are born till we die, this will happen. In fact, this is called pana, that means prana, the living process. That we are living, we are sentient beings, is proved from this fact that we breathe in and breathe out. We are a breathing creature. Now, this process of breathing in and out has very profound significance. Say, purely from the standpoint of, just bodily. You ask a doctor what happens with the breath. As you're breathing in, the heart begins to, pump blood. The breath gets into the lungs and it gets purified and goes, it activates works the pump machine, that is the heart, which pumps in and out. As it pumps, it is like the, automobile engine, the suction and compress and all that. From one channel, the blood goes into every part of the body. The body basically is nothing but a cellular structure. There are millions and billions of cells. And every cell, very minute indeed, every cell undergoes three distinct stages. Utpatti, Sthiti, Bhanga. That means it arises, it continues for just momentarily, and then it collapses, breaks up, giving rise to a new arising again. So this process of arising, continuing and ending, it's everywhere at the very basic level of existence in the cellular structure itself. Every cell, as soon as the cell dies and the blood arrives there to replace this dead body, and the new cell arises. That is how the whole process goes on. Now, if you go deeply into it, what does it mean? It simply means we are moment to moment we are dying, and moment to moment we are being reborn. Just at the pure physical level, bodily level, every cell dying and then is getting regenerated. which simply means dying and being reborn. Birth, death, rebirth. So this process is at the very basic, the cellular level, and that can be seen, that can be proved. There is no theory about it, no dogma about it, nothing. Plain truth at the scientific level. So now this is what, you see, Buddhism is all about. Becoming at the very, very basic level of our existence. At the physical level, bodily level, and breath also, we are constantly dying and constantly being reborn. As soon as we take a new breath, we are reborn. We are taking a new life. As soon as we breathe out, this is gone, this life. And then followed by again rebirth. So this process of being, arising, continuing, dying, this is called becoming at this level. You can see that. Now, this is with reference to body. Now, with reference to mind, it is even more dynamic, more, it is immensely fast indeed. By the time we breathe in, maybe 100 states of consciousness have arisen and passed away. We have died and are being reborn probably 100 times by the time we have just taken one breath in and out. Within that short space of time, hundreds and hundreds of states of consciousness have arisen, continued and collapsed. This is bhava, becoming at the mental level. Now both this nama rupa, both at the bodily as well as the mental level, this becoming is going on from the time we are born and it will go on till the end. So life is characterized by this, and it is not a theory, it is happening. That is the truth about life. But people are not aware of it because they have not trained the mind sufficiently, they have not developed the mind sufficiently, and they are not oriented towards the truth. They are oriented towards theories of God and theories of this, theories of caste, all kinds of theories. And the mind is completely bogged in that, in those concepts and theories, so you miss the reality, the truth of life, which is becoming. Now at the micro level, this is happening, what I have mentioned now, both at the level of the body and the mind. So the word bhava, now the sutta starts like this. I will read the translation of it. The Venerable Ananda goes to Bhagavan when he was staying at Savatthi. While the Blessed Lord Buddha was staying at Savatthi, the Venerable Ananda, after approaching the Blessed Lord and having worshipped him, said, "Most Venerable Sir, becoming, bhava, so it is said." In what way, Most Venerable Sir, does becoming take place? In what way this becoming is taking place? In what way should we understand it? That is the question. The Buddha wanted to give an answer as comprehensively as possible. So he put a counter question. He said, "Ananda," replied the Buddha, "if there were no action, volitional action, karma, which is to ripen, vipaka, vipacchati, vipaka, which is to ripen in the sphere of sense desire, that is our kama loka, desire based on sense, sense-based desire, the sphere of that, which is to ripen in the sphere of sense desire, would any becoming, any bhava in the sphere of Kamaloka, sense sphere, take place? So here the counter question is, if there were no action, volitional action, karma, which is to ripen in the sphere of sense desire, would any becoming in the sense sphere of sense sphere, take place? Definitely not, most venerable sir, Ananda replied. Now, then the Buddha said, therefore, Ananda, action is the field, consciousness the seed, and craving the moisture for the consciousness of beings, which is hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving, to become established in the lower or sense desire realm of existence. Thus, re-becoming, repeated rebirth occurs in the future. So the rebirth mechanism, briefly speaking, has been spelt out in this way. If Anand, then he this is with reference to Kama Loka. Then he also repeats the same thing with reference to Rupa Loka, or the subtle, the sphere, divine sphere of Brahma gods of subtle matter. Then he repeats the same with reference to Arupa Loka, the divine sphere of the most sublime and lofty sphere of the Arupa Brahmas, that is the Brahmas, immaterial Brahmas, without pure mental life, no physical, nothing, no material existence at all, that sphere. But that also is a state of existence. Buddha, so all these three, he questions Ananda and replies. Now the comment, this is interesting here. In this discourse, the word becoming has two meanings. One, as bhava, as karma process, kamma bhava, and bhava as upapatti bhava, rebirth process. So here the bhava has distinctly two meanings. One is a karma process, the other is a rebirth process. So rebirth is only a natural consequence, a corollary of this, of karma. Now karma process means if you commit any action, any volitional action, impelled by, let us say, certain root, psychological roots like greed, hatred and delusion, or non-greed, non-hatred and non-delusion. So if you commit an action, action is threefold: bodily action, verbal action and mental action. If any of these three modes of action is committed, impelled by the three psychological roots, either wholesome roots or unwholesome roots, kusala hetu or akusala hetu, then this volitional action acquires a certain potency, certain power, certain ability by which it can produce a result which is compatible with this action, with this particular action that you have committed. So here not only action, but action impelled by certain mental factors. And not only that, mental factor cannot be separated from mind itself, consciousness. So action, consciousness, which is a part of, which is a mental factor actually, action, and the the consciousness which is now conditioned or colored by a certain mental factor called hetu. That is the motivations, either greed, hatred or delusion, or non-greed, non-hatred and non-delusion. Non-greed is not just absence of greed, no. It is that positive psychological or moral factor which can do away with greed. Greed can appear in 100 different ways. Greed means not only wanting a thing, any worldly thing, greed for the pleasure of the worldly enjoyments and all that, or eating and this, no. Name and fame, power and position, popularity, all these things can be greed-rooted. So if the mind, consciousness is impelled by these factors, these mind-defiling factors, then the karma that you have, see, there is a metaphor in this sutta which says karma is a field, consciousness is the seed, and craving is the moisture. Now, if, let us say, if there is no field to grow a crop, and no seed is sown, and then there is no sprinkling of water, would a crop be, you see, can you get a crop out of it? Definitely not. You can get a rich crop only when there is a field, and then there is seed which is sown in the field, and then in this field with the seed sown, you sprinkle water or irrigate, and there is enough moisture or the field is wet. The combination of these three factors, they bring about the result which is, you see, a crop, rich crop. So a karma that one commits at the Kamaloka level, you see, where the mind gets tainted or conditioned or colored very, very easily by this element of desire. You see an object, you like it, you desire it. You hear a sound, you like it, you desire it. Like that, through the six senses, the mind is bombarded with desire all the time. There is no question about it. So the mind being conditioned, bombarded by desire all the time, that mind acquires a certain quality which is called element, dhatu. So here, bhava has to be understood, number one, as a karmic process, which has the potential to produce a result, to ripen in a particular field, in a particular place, and at a particular time. So here, karma process is actually committing the action motivated by these the karmic roots, and with the mind actively involved in that. Kusala, akusala chitta, which is also the kusala, akusala karma. So, with this, now, with all the conjunction of the three, brings about what is called rebirth process. Rebirth is a natural corollary. Now, so rebirth where? Rebirth means becoming. Punar bhava. So bhava in the sense of karma bhava, and bhava in the sense of upapatti bhava, punar bhava. That is rebirth. Now we have given you, you see, the example of breathing at the micro level, you can see this, what is happening as the result of karma. You are breathing in and out from morning till evening, till night, or all the time till you die. As a nothing but as a resultant of your past karma. What is that karma? You wanted to be reborn in this sphere. You did a karma compatible with the you see what occurs in the kama loka, a desire-oriented karma. So you therefore get landed in the plane or in the sphere of desire. So here desire, you see bhava, first of all a karma, an action. Then where the karma will ripen, that means a plane of existence. Either kama loka, rupa loka or arupa loka. And not only that, see, this karma should be compatible with this loka, only then becoming in this loka is possible. So the Buddha says, well, a karma, ananda, a karma which can only ripen in the kama loka. If there is no such karma which can ripen only in the kama loka, will it be possible to be born in kama loka then? No. So here, karma and the karma as a process of becoming and its resultant also as a process, karma result vipaka. And you see, when you are at the moment, let us say at the last moment